Welcome back to module 3 of this unit 2, and we would be talking about quartiles in this module. Now, just to recall, in the previous modules we have talked about three measures of central tendencies, that is arithmetic mean, median and mode, and also discussed how to compute these values based on whether we have a grouped data or an ungrouped data. So this quartiles is another measure of a central tendency that we usually use besides these other measures. Okay, and usually recommended when we are using median as a measure of central tendency. Okay, so we'll talk about how to calculate these quartiles based on whether we have ungrouped data or grouped data in this particular module. Okay. Now, what is quartiles? Now, as the name itself will suggest, it is those data values that divide the data into four equal parts, okay, or four equal quarters. So let's say, for example, if I have this as the data set, this is my data set. What I am doing is I am dividing it into four equal parts. 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. This we say is the first quartile, that is Q1, which is also referred to as lower quartile. I have Q2 here. Okay, this is the second quartile we say, or the median, and this is Q3 here we say is the upper quartile or the third quartile. What they basically do is they divide the total data sets as 25%, 25%, 25% and 25% values. So when it comes to Q2 here, Q2 divides the data as 50%, 50%, and that's exactly what even median does. So this Q2 is same as the median. Okay, now how to calculate this? So the second quartile is same as median, and the way we calculate it is using a formula, something like this. So in case I have a grouped data, then this Qi, okay, depending on whether I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. If I is equal to 1, we'll say it is Q1, the first quartile. If I is equal to 2, we'll say Q2, the second quartile, which is median, of course. 3, if I is equal to 3, then it will be Q3, third quartile. So Qi is equal to L plus H upon F into I into N upon 4 minus this. Now this is a formula that you must have already seen in case of median, exactly similar one, except that here it was N upon 2. Now there it was N upon 2 because we were dividing the data into two equal parts. That's why it was N upon 2. Here we are dividing the data in four equal parts. That's why here it is 4. So depending on which quartile that we want to find out, accordingly that particular value of I has to be put here. And these notations also you already familiar with. L here is the lower limit of the class that will contain the quartile. Okay. This is Qi. So in each of the quartile case, this L will be the lower limit of that class that contains that Qi. H is the class size. F is the frequency of that class that will contain that particular quartile, and C is the cumulative frequency of the preceding class. Now these notations we have already discussed in case of median. Now in case I have an ungrouped data, okay, the procedure again will be same as like how we have been finding median. So let's say I have this data. So what we have to do is we have to put this data in either ascending or descending order first. So let's say we are putting this into ascending order. So the least value here is 1. Then I have 2. I have 2 again. Then there is 3. Then I have 4. Then I have 6 and then 8. So I have put this data in ascending order. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have odd number of values. So the middle value will be this, that is 3. Okay, which is actually the median and which is the second quartile. So the middle value is Q2. If I look at the other two parts, the middle value here is 2 in the first part, which will be our Q1. And in the second part here, the middle value is 6, that will be our Q3. So given an ungrouped data like this, we are first putting into ordered form like this, and then locate the middle values, the Q1, Q2, Q3, something like this. So Q1 is 2, Q2 is 3, and Q3 is 6. Let us consider this series now. I have 2, 6, 3, 15, 9, 12, 18, 6 and 16. So the same way, if I have to find out the quartiles here, I'll have to put these numbers into ordered form, ascending order. So the minimum here is 2, so 2, then I have 3, then I have 6, in fact 6 is repeated twice, so 6 and 6, then I have 9 here, then the next one is 12, then I have next is 15, then I have 16, and the last one I think is 18. Okay, so once I have put into ascending order, now observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 again. So again I locate the central value. This will be my Q2. Now among the remaining parts, okay, there are even number of entries. So what you will do is locate the middle two values 3 and 6 and find out their mean. 3 plus 6 upon 2. Okay, the same way the Q3, if you have to find out, it will be the sum of 15 and 16 divided by 2. Okay, this will be 15.5 and this will be equal to 4.5. Okay, now in case the number of entries was even Q2 you will be finding by the averaging. You will take the middle two values and you will find out the average, like how you found out Q1 in this case and Q3. So in case you have data something like this is how you will find out the 3 quartiles. Now let us go for the grouped data. Okay, and the data is the cost of meals in Mumbai, which you have been working with so far. So I want to find out the 3 quartiles, say Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now this is the formula that I have here. So in case I want to find out Q1, I'll have to put I equal to 1. So what will be Q1? Q1 will be equal to L plus H upon F into I is 1 into N upon 4 minus C. Okay, so if I have to find out Q1, first I have to find out this I into N, 1 into N upon 4. So for Q1, we first look at I into N upon 4, which is 1 into N. Here is the total frequency is 50. Okay, divide by 4, and that is equal to 12.5. Okay, we are following the same procedure what we did in the case of median. So now you find out where is the median values, where is this particular value 12.5. Okay, so now go to the cumulative frequencies. Here we are looking at the cumulative frequency. I want 12.5th entry, okay, approximately. So I have 1, 6 and 15. So 12.5 entry will be somewhere here in this class. So this is the class that will contain Q1. So after I have found out 1 into N upon 4, which is 12.5, I went to the cumulative frequencies and I located where that particular entry would be. Now 12.5 will be after 6 and 15, so it will be somewhere here. So this is how I identify my class that will contain Q1. Once you identify the class, then you have to just substitute these things in the formula. So Q1 will be equal to, what is the lower limit of the class, that is 30, plus class size, that is H, is 10, divided by F is the frequency of that class, that is 9. Okay, I into n upon 4 you already found out, which is 12.5, minus C is the cumulative frequency of the preceding class, and that is 6. So 6. So you have to calculate this, and the value that you will get in this case is 37.2. So Q1 is equal to 37.22. What you are saying is 25% of the restaurants have their cost of meals less than rupees 37.22. So the remaining 75% values are more than rupees 37.22. Okay. Now the same way, let us say I want to find out Q2 and Q3. Okay. So for Q2, what will you do? You will put I equal to 2. In that case, this I into n upon 4 will be equal to 2 into n upon 4. You will cancel this 2 and 4, you will get n upon 2, which is same as like how you have been finding median. So it is 50 upon 2, which is 25. So this is for Q2. So so you got 25. The same way, now find out where is 25th entry. 25th entry is here in the cumulative frequencies. So accordingly, this will be the class that will contain Q2, which is the same as median, and this is something that we already done before. So what will be Q2? Q2 is equal to the lower limit of the class, that is 40, plus class size is 10, frequency of that class is also 10, into I into n upon 4 we have found out to be 25, minus the cumulative frequency of the preceding class is 50. Okay, and that's how this 10 and 10 will cancel. 25 minus 15 is 10, plus 40 will give me 50, and this is the same as median that we had calculated earlier. Okay, so that was Q2. Let us say I want to find out Q3 as well. So for Q3, what will you do? You'll put I equal to 3. In that case, this I into n upon 4 is 3 into n. N here is 50 divided by 4, and then you'll get 37.5. So once you get 37.5, find out in the cumulative frequency where will be this particular entry. So I have 1, 6, 15, 12, 25 and 40. So 37.5 entry will be somewhere in this class after 25. 37.5 is after 25, before 40. So it will be in this class, and this is the class that will contain Q3. Once you have identified the class, I substitute these things in the formula. So Q3 is, the lower limit is 50, plus class size is 10, the frequency of that class is 15, into, now this I into n upon 4 we have found out to be 37.5, minus C. What is C here? The cumulative frequency of the preceding class, that is 25 here. So this is 25. So we have to calculate this, and once we calculate, 37.5 is 12.5. So 12.5 into 10 is 125 upon 15, that is approximately 8.3, plus this 50 will give me 58.3. So the third quartile is 58.3. So once this quartiles is found, the quartile values, in fact in this case itself you'll get the idea. Okay, so Q1 was some 37.22, so it was 37.22. Q2 here is 50, and Q3 here is 58.3. Okay, so you know that 25% values are here, 25% values are here, 25% values are here, 25% values are here. 50% of the restaurants have their cost less than 50, 50% have more than 50, 25% of the restaurants have their cost less than 37.22, rupees 37.22, and remaining 75% on that, above that. Okay, so this is how these values will help. Now the position of quartiles will also help you in getting or understanding the nature of the data curve as well, like how mean, median and mode also help you for that reason. Even quartiles will give you a clear idea of what kind of a frequency curve you are looking at. Okay, so we usually recommend these quartiles when we are dealing with median, when we are using median as the measure of central tendency. Okay, and how will it help in understanding the nature of the curve is, like suppose Q1 is here, Q2 is here, and Q3 is here. In a way, like Q1, Q2, Q3, they are all at equal distance. The distance from Q1 to Q2 is same as the distance from Q2 to Q3. So when you have something like this, you know that you are talking about a curve which is a symmetric, something like this. Okay, because they are all equidistant from each other. Okay, the values are uniformly distributed between Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now in case suppose you have Q1 here, Q2 here, and Q3 is here. Now the distance between Q1 and Q2 is very less as compared to Q2 and Q3. But again, when you know that Q1 to Q2 there are 25% values, and Q2 to Q3 are also 25% values. The difference is here the 25% of values are concentrated over a smaller range, whereas here the 25% values are concentrated over a bigger range. So you'll know that more frequencies are concentrated more here over small range. So here the frequencies will be higher, whereas in Q2 to Q3 part, because it's a bigger range, the frequencies will be small. So in a way, you are looking at a frequency curve which is something like this. Okay, which will have more frequencies towards the left side. The same way, suppose if your Q1 is here, Q2 is here, and Q3 is here. Now the distance between Q1 and Q2 is more than Q2 and Q3. Okay, the same way, so here the frequencies are higher because here all 25% of values are concentrated over a smaller part, whereas here they are concentrated over a bigger part. They are not really concentrated, they are more dispersed. Okay, so here the frequencies are lesser, here the frequencies are higher. So here you are looking at a frequency curve which is maybe something like this. So depending on the position of the quartiles, you also know the nature of the frequency curve as well. That is one advantage of that. Thank you.